Hey, welcome to Betide. In this video, we are going to make this. So we will have a login system. We did this in the last video, basically. Now we will have a shop. So you have two items in shop. Firstly, you can buy the first item for $1,000 and the second for $32. Let me just open it back. Get to the player inventory, and you see we have no items here. So let's just go and go to shop and buy it for $32. You see insufficient funds because we don't have a back button. That's why we have to get back. So we have $16 in our funds. So we can get to the Playfab website. We can then get to the virtual currency part. You see we have $16 in UC. We can just, I don't know why it's coming in this language, but we can increase the amount to this random big number and save. So we have this amount now. If I play it now, it should be updated. Yeah, you see we have 34,300 something. And I can buy this AK-47. It says hooray, that is the purchase is perfectly passed out, I mean. And if I now go to the play inventory, you see we have AK-47. So yeah, if I now remove this from the inventory, now I get back, it says no items. So yeah, in this video we will make this thing and set up things. So from the next video we will start working on the COD part, that is loadout menu and things like good UI, creating more new matchmaking features. The matchmaking thing is in process. I will update you on that, but yeah, we will do a lot of things. Let's just get started. Okay, so welcome back to the screen. Let's just get started. I don't want to waste the time today. Yeah, so the first thing which we need to do is go to content drawer, game instance, and open your game instance. So you remember we did the update currency thing, but we still need a few things. We need to make a shop. Yeah. So for that, what we need to do first is go to BP, then UI, it's debug one. Go to main menu and widgets. And do we have a shop widget? No, we just have an inventory widget. Right click this and duplicate, name this shop widget. And you can just set the text as shop. And get back to the main menu. Select this button and press Ctrl D. Now where is this location? Yeah. You can go in button 0 and just copy this X and Y value here. I just want it to be below the thing, and drag it a little bit here. And set this as shop. Select the button, go down, on pressed. So we need to do the same thing, just copy paste this so that we can remove all the widgets first and then add our shop widget. But if you open the shop widget now and go to graph, you will notice on event construct we get the current inventory, but we now need to get the current shop items. So yeah, let's write the logic to get the shop items from the catalog. Okay, so I have opened the Playfab website. Let me just go to the economy section, and you see this is known as catalog. So we add all our items in the catalog section. As you can see, we have all our items skin 1, skin 2 in the catalog. So what we now need to do is in this BB game instance, we need to go to class settings and open our blue game instance, and we need to make a function of update shop, and from here go to this interfaces and right click implement event. Now in this update shop, we need to get all the catalog items. Get catalog items, and this should, the target should be Playfab client API as always, because you will see we have admin API also, but we need this client API. And on failure, as usual, we will make an event dispatcher for on failure, and for success we will create a custom event. Get catalog success, and you will see if you break this client get catalog items, you will get the catalog items here. You need to get for each loop, and then you need to get get field, and you need to get item ID, because it will have item ID on all the prices too. So just let's print item IDs and check if it works. Print a string. So this item ID is being returned as a Playfab JSON value, so we need to get it as string. Make it as string, and let's call this event update shop on whenever we update the currency. Update shop. Let's see, this is temporary. Let's open the map first. Content map. Oh, it's in game. No, it was in main menu, map, and login. So I will log in, and you see we get skin 2, skin 1. So yeah, it's working. Just to be sure of it, you can make the color red and time to be 5. So you see we get skin 2 and skin 1, but we need to give, because maybe you are running some kind of offer so that you can decrease prices for it. Maybe you want this 40 at some time. So if you set the prices in game, like here, if you set the prices here, it would be difficult. So what we will do is we will get the prices from the Playfab website directly. So we will just copy this and open edge, go to skin 1, and you see this is called virtual currency. If you remember, we made a virtual currency. Yeah, we made an unknown currency. I hope you remember. So we need this code. Just copy this and let's go. One more thing. Okay, one more thing. Maybe there is a case where you have multiple currencies, right? You want a free currency and a paid currency. So this thing which is going to be virtual currency, let's type virtual currency prices. Virtual currency prices. We need to get the field. So this will return all the array of all the type of currencies you have for the specific item. So currently we have one, but it can return more if you have more. So what we need to do is we need to make JSON object, construct JSON array. Well, no, it was let me just check. Yeah, it was as object, this thing. Now what you need to do is you need to get field. Now there may be cases, as I said, you just need to enter UC if you are sure of the field name. Like, let me just show back. the code was UC, so you can just enter UC. But if you have multiple, so what you will do is you will get field names, and then you can just check what all it's printing. Let me just print it here. Print a string for each loop. Yeah. You see it's printing UC twice because we only have UC in our map, in our game. So I will get it as UC, but if you want multiple, you just need to enter the field name of the type of currency you want, or you can use multiple array elements from here. I hope I'm clear. And because it will return a number, so you can get it as a number, and just let's just make it here. So now we need to create a new variable which would be of structure type, of data table type, because we will be storing our inventory items. Oh, sorry, we would be storing our uh, catalog items. So let's do something. You can just right click on catalog and promote it to a variable, and just make this here and delete here. We will use this logic directly from the menu. And now we need one more game instance, which is get shop items. And here we are okay, so we need to create a read output type. Output type would be of this catalog item, which was Playfab JSON object. So you need to create Playfab JSON object, and this should be of object reference and array catalog reference. Now in our case, the catalog can never be empty, right? I hope if you are not having an empty catalog. If you are having a catalog, then the logic to check whether this is updated or not will not work for you. You will have to create a dummy item in the catalog. So yeah, let's get back to the shop widget, and instead of get currency and widget, remove this. We can get shop items, and it gives us the catalog reference too. Now you can just plug it here because it will directly work, because the array reference back is same for both. Now if you see, it's creating a widget of item widget, but we need to tell it what is the price of this item, because the player has not currently bought it. So we need to right click this item widget and duplicate it and name this shop item widget. So basically this will be used if the item is in the inventory, and this will be used if the item is in the shop. You can also do other types of thing, like you can make a variable and check whether they both, whether it's a shop widget and an item widget, and then have it in both single widget item. But I will create two widgets because that's better and convenient. And here I will search for shop item widget, and now I will open the shop item widget, and in place of use widget I will make it by item. Now the item would be costing something, so we need to create a binding, and in return type we will make format text. Make the text to be by for dollar something. Let me just dollar x. So this x will act as a variable. Now if you want, you can make this UC10 and something like that. I will make it dollar. So looks like the game currency is dollar. Now here, let's create a new variable and name this item price. You can have it float, I will have it integer. Just depends upon what you want to do here with it. And drag it and put it the value in X. Now make this item price to be exposed on spawn and instance editable. Get back to your shop widget. Right click your create shop item widget and refresh nodes. You see this. So what we can now do is get back to our BP game instance, event graph, and we can just copy this logic here. Let me drag it here. So we need the virtual currency prices. So let me just drag this here because we are already made for each loop. Then we don't need these because we already have the get field from our previous video. We need this as object, so we have to make it here. We need the get field and we need it as number. And when we get it as number, we will just pass this in the item price. Now let's see if it works. I will log in. We get player inventory and we just have one item. We have it use item. Now I will again log in, get shop, and yeah, you see it's buy for $32, buy for $1,000. Let's check whether the prices are correct. Skin 1 costs $32 and this is also costing $32, but currently the buttons are not working. So what we need to do is if the player chooses to buy this item, we need him to purchase that. We need to take him to the purchase thing. So on this shop item widget, on pressed button, on pressed, we can get the game instance. Where is the game instance? Yeah, BI game instance, and make purchase item, and we can make it item reference. We will be using the direct Playfab references, not the item ID and things like that, because this way we can directly get all the data from one JSON. If you need more info about JSON, you can ask me and I will create a video for that in future, but I hope you know the basics, or else it's not necessary, you just need to follow along. But we don't get the JSON value here, so as we need to pass it here too. Now create an input. We needed an input, not an output, so let's just remove this purchase item, create a new function. Input would be item reference and function name is purchase item. Get back to the shop item widget, get game instance and call purchase item. So we need to pass the item reference here. So let's do that. We can create, right click this and promote it to a variable, and yeah, make this instance editable and expose on spawn. Compile and save. Get to your shop widget, right click the shop item thing and refresh. You see we get this item reference. We can drag it here and put this. So we now have the item reference too. Open BI game instance and right click this purchase item, and yeah. Now what we need to do is we need to call the Playfab function purchase item. You see it's a client event, not the server event or admin event. If you want, you can create client and server events, site client and server events, but I would be going with the most basic thing. create an event dispatcher for failure, and for success, purchase item success. We need to pass in the request. So make client purchase request. It's asking a ton of things. Firstly, the character ID, you don't need to put it here. We don't have characters. If you have multiple types of character, then you need to tell the character ID. For instance, you are having different types of characters, not the skins. I'm not talking of skins. I'm talking of characters like demons and gods and things like that, which will have completely different inventories. If a character is having a single inventory, then you don't need to do. If you have different types of inventory, then you need to pass the character ID. So here is the item ID. So what we will do is, from the item reference, we will get field, and we will put here item ID and get it as a string as a string, and pass the ID. So this okay, so this is the price you need to enter if there is an updated price, or else you can just get the price from this item reference and pass it here. Store ID, so store ID and catalog version can be taken from here. So our catalog version is single one catalogs, and here is our catalog version. So we will just enter 1 here, and virtual currency would be UC, because if you open an item, you will get different types of virtual currencies, and you can choose RM and different types of purchases. So for instance, this a user can get this skin one for 1,000 free coins and 10 paid coins. So yeah, you can do something like that. Let me remove this. Save it. And then you have the store ID. Let me show you. If I don't know why I can't see the store here. There was a tab for it, I believe. Okay, so we have 0 stores. Yeah, it was inside this. So you see we have an store tab here. So stores are something like if you want, you need to update the prices, as I said, within an offer. You can do that here. But let's just move on. We don't need to do anything else. On purchase, let's print hooray. Login. So in our player inventory, we have AK-47. So we will pick another item which we don't have in our inventory. Okay, the shop was not updated till the time I opened it. Let it update. Yeah. So we have the AK-47 already. We will buy this skin type 1. I will press on it, and it says wrong price. Let me just make this 5. Is this the problem? No, it's printing wrong price. Let me just check. Let's enter 32 because it's 32 priced. Let's see if it now works. Hooray. So yeah, this price needs to match the price on our thing. So instead of getting it here, let's do one thing. Get to the BI game instance, open purchase item, and create a new input and name this item price, and this should be of float type. Get to your shop item widget, and on pressed button you see we have the item price here. We can get the item price directly as the integer, pass it here. And one more thing, we need to go to the BP game instance, drag the price here and put this. Now it should work, but we already have all the items in our inventory. So let's just to go and remove the things from our inventory. And here is the inventory. Revoke, revoke. And now we should not have anything in our inventory. Yeah, it's empty. So login, shop, and let's buy this. Hooray. So now if I play, we need to make a back button. If we go to play, yeah, we have the skin type 1 and we can use item. And we also have the second item. If I press, we don't insufficient funds because we have like $144 only. Also, we bought item for $32. So you see we got an updated price here. The price after deducting 32. Let's buy some more things. Let's buy this once again. And we got hooray. So Playfab doesn't provide an opportunity to restrict a purchase to only once. You can purchase the same thing 100 times. If you want, you can create that yourself by getting the inventory and checking if the item is already owned or not. So yeah, you can see we have $48, so it decreased. I will buy it once more just to play with it. It's 16, and now if I buy it, it says insufficient funds. So everything is working as it should. Now, two more things which we can do is go to the shop widget, and just to protect the players, if the array index, let's get empty is empty, branch, if it's not empty, then only do this process. If it's empty, then we will add a text in between. Copy this, row to tiny, paste, make it a big bit. Yeah, no items, and make the visibility to be hidden. Default visibility will be hidden and is a variable. No items is the array name. Oh, sorry, variable name. And if it is really empty, then we will make the visibility of no items to be true. We will do the same with our inventory widget so that the user knows that his inventory is empty. Get this here. Get is empty. Branch. Tag this here and make it false. And if it is true that the inventory is empty, press Ctrl T on the player inventory and drag it down. Yeah, make it a little bigger. Yeah, no items is variable. So you get the no items and set visibility to be visible. Let's check player inventory. So it's we forgot to hide it default. You can just search for visibility and hidden player inventory. Yeah, it's hidden. Now let's go to our players, reload this and revoke. Now let's check if we have any item. No items. So it's working perfectly fine. So yeah, let's wipe up this video. I should say round up this video. So yeah, in this video we created the inventory thing. Thanks for watching. We will meet in the next video. Next video we will be starting to make the UI good, we will be starting to make a loadout menu and things like that, because the basic Playfab stuff is now ready. All the basic menu things are now working, except matchmaking, which we will do in the future. I am learning how to do matchmaking through Playfab. It's really hard for me to learn, basically, because there are no tutorials for it and the engine just crashes up each time I tried that. So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, thank you. Let's meet in the next video then.